Alright, let's keep replacing icon SVG codes with corresponding icon components. Let's firstly see what icons are used on this page. The first icon, which is this logo, we have already replaced with an icon component. Also on this page we have the following feature icons, as well as one more logo icon in the footer. And also if we'll take a look at the mobile version of this page, we can see that there are a couple of icons used inside the mobile navigation for buttons to open up and close mobile navigation. And there is one more icon that is used inside the button to submit subscription form right here. So now I'm basically going to find appropriate icons on the icons website, just like we have done in the previous lesson. Copy corresponding icon names and create aliases for each icon inside of nuxt.config.ts file. And once all the aliases with corresponding icon names will be ready, we can go ahead and replace all SVG tags of icons with corresponding icon components. And the first SVG element in here represents an icon inside of the button which opens up mobile navigation. I'm going to use an icon component. Then we'll have to move all these classes from this SVG element into the icon component, assign them to this class attribute right here, and of course we have to use proper icon name, which is an alias in our case, called bars. And now we are ready to remove SVG code and keep only icon component. So I'm going to do the same thing for other elements on this page. So I'm basically gonna go over all such SVG elements and replace them with corresponding icon components. The next SVG element represents an icon inside of the button to close mobile navigation. It is going to have the same set of CSS classes as the previous icon. So all we have to do in here is just use proper name for this icon, which is xmark in this case. The next SVG element is contained within the first card of the features section. The icon name that we need in this case will be cog. Let's copy over this set of classes and apply them to this icon component. And now let's remove an SVG element. The next icon is called fire, which is located inside of the second card, inside of the features section. Right here I'm going to use the same CSS classes, so let's just remove SVG element. And one more time let's copy this icon component and use it inside of the third feature card right here. The icon name will be puzzle in this case. Let's get rid of the SVG element and move on to the next icon. We are going to paste this icon component inside of the button which submits newsletter form. Here we're going to apply these CSS classes and use plain icon name. Let's remove SVG element and move on to the last icon on this page. And the last icon is actually the logo, which is already used in the header. So in here, let's use this set of classes. The icon name will be code. And don't forget to remove SVG element itself. And by the way, whenever we are making changes and sometimes something doesn't show up properly, it might make sense to reboot the development server. So I'm going to run npm run dev command once again to start development server. And let's check the result in the browser. As you can see right now, all the icons are still shown properly on the page. Let's also check the mobile version of this page. Here we're also seeing all icons. In this course I'm going to heavily use Vue DevTools, so let's install Vue DevTools extension, and right after the extension will be installed, once we'll open up developer tools, there will be additional tab that is called Vue, and that is Vue DevTools. In here we can see a lot of useful information, such as component tree that shows which Vue components are currently present on the page. And whenever we're going to modify props of our components, the changes will be reflected on the page right away without us having to reload the page manually. Since all those props are reactive, meaning that whenever they change, they will automatically cause re-renders of certain parts of the page. In addition to these DevTools, since we're inside of Nuxt application, Nuxt also provides us with its own developer tools. We can access those by clicking on this icon. And right here we can see that same component tree that we have just seen inside of Vue.js DevTools. But besides this, Nuxt DevTools also have a lot of other tabs that are related particularly to Nuxt application. For example, Modules tab shows us modules that are currently used in the Nuxt application. And as we remember, we have previously installed Google Fonts module as well as Icon module, and all of those are shown in here. We can also tweak visual representation of these tools from the settings. For example, we can choose the theme, light or dark, the size of the UI elements. Also, we can show or hide sidebar labels. And there is this option which is called Close DevTools when clicking outside. I'm going to check this option, which will allow us to close this Nuxt DevTools when clicking outside of this window. And that's about it for this lesson. Link to the source code of this project will be, as always, in the video description.